America. I'm Cucker Tarlson, and welcome to the Red Eye Review. Tonight, we're going to talk about a few things like Ukraine and Russia. Have you ever been to Russia? Have you ever gone to Russia? Have you ever gone to Ukraine? Have you ordered anything from Ukraine? Bought anything from Ukraine? Do you care about Ukraine? Do you want to go to Ukraine? Why do we care as Americans about Ukraine? Should we care about Russia? Ukraine? Who needs them? Have you ever had any reason to distrust Vladimir Putin? Has he ever done anything to you as an American to make you feel like you can't trust him? Like you can't believe any word that he says? I, personally, don't have a reason to mistrust Vladimir Putin. When I look back, in fact, he was very honest about everything he said, about his special military operation, about what he was doing, about where he was going, about his intentions. Vladimir Putin gave me no other options. No other choice. Vladimir Putin gave me no reason not to believe him, not to trust him. On to another topic I have. Ukraine. Have they ever done anything? Have they ever contributed anything? Did they ever give you anything? I, personally, have never seen anything. Any cups, any toys, any cars that say, made in Ukraine. They've never done anything for me specifically. Why should we as Americans be giving so much money and time to Ukraine? So many people, so many humanitarians to Ukraine. In fact, what we should be talking about is the real problem. The border. The border is the real problem. We need to focus on the real problem at the border, where there are thousands of immigrants flooding over our system illegally. Crazies, illegals, rapists, thugs, trying to kill us, trying to take our jobs. They're looking after your women, your fish, your cats. They want to come here. They want to do things. They want to work. They want to kill you. Speaking of Ukraine, in fact, when I look back, I don't think they ever gave anything up to guarantee their security. There was no trade-in, no items that they had that could have prevented anything like this. Nothing that could have stopped an invasion, a special military operation, a war. We as Americans need to focus on these things. We need to crack down. Pay attention. What I heard is that Zelensky used to wear tight pants. What does that say about Zelensky? What does it mean? What does it say about his character, about his person? Why are we paying attention? Why are we listening to him? Why are we following him? Heard about these NAFO guys that are so selfishly contributing to Ukraine. Bullets, band-aids, beans, trucks, vehicles even. People. What are we doing? What are we thinking? Why are we going there? We should be paying attention to the border. The border. Illegal immigrants, rapists, thieves, thugs, monsters coming through to take your jobs, to take your daughters, to take your dogs. In fact, as we all know, we as Americans, there's one person who could fix all of this, who could change all of this, who could call Zelensky up in an instant and send him in his tight pants back to Crimea. In fact, clearly there's no link between Trump blocking aid to Ukraine and Speaker Johnson taking week after week after week after week on vacation like Americans do. That's what we should be doing. We should be taking vacations and not doing our jobs. Like members of the House, they're doing the right thing. They're focusing on the border. The border. They're coming over illegally. In fact, now that I think about it, I have to mention that Speaker Mike Johnson and Marjorie Taylor Greene are very honest, hard-working, red-blooded Americans. Another point that I'd like to bring up. Never forget, they're trying to steal your guns. They're trying to steal your guns. Where are your guns? What are they doing? Are your guns in a safe right now? Why are they trying to take them out of our safes? Look it up. Google it. Google it. We can all Google it. I can Google it. You can Google it. I will Google it. You will Google it. Google it now. Google it later. It doesn't matter. As long as you Google it. So now, the moment that you've been waiting for. The moment that CNN and NBC, Fox News have been waiting for. Since I am a professional journalist, a real journalist, I was able to get through to Vladimir Putin. I was able to talk to him. I was able to get a moment to look into his eyes, to touch him. So as requested, I spent time in Russia. I spent time there. I saw that they had things unlike Ukraine. They have bread. They have bananas. Here, finally, is my interview with Vladimir Putin. Good afternoon, Mr. Putin. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. The American people have a couple of questions.
Let me start by interrupting you and saying, I think you are a little baby man. I do not respect you. I do not like you. I do not want you in Russia. I do not know why you are here. Personally, I will be surprised if you survive leaving Russia. First by way of food poisoning, second by way of regular poisoning.
Questions for you. Like, do you have bread in Russia? Do you have bananas in Russia?
Suka, what kind of stupid question is that? Of course we have bananas, and of course we have bread. Your penis and genitals are like very thin, crispy wafer. Very delicate, thin, crispy wafer. Never been used like old cracker sitting on floor.
What do the people do in Russia? What do you think in Russia? How do you feel?
You ask questions like little girl. I will spit on you now. While you're tasting my Russian loogie, I will have you know, I just ate scrambled eggs.
2 hours later.
And now we have come to the 157th unnecessary story about the history of Russia. Let me continue, please wait. On the 76th day of the 77th hour, when Russia came...
Mr. Putin, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time, so much for your efforts, so much for your dedication.
Tonight I will be taking big Russian dump on your flag. And if I take over your country, I will make sure to enslave you personally.
Well, there you have it, America. Depending on how you look at it, Vladimir Putin seems to be a very good, honest, and stable man. He was very kind. He was very nice to let me out of Russia. It was very nice of him. Speaking of Vladimir Putin, I'd like to visit him again. Speaking of visiting again, I'd like to thank you all for joining me on the Red Eye Review. Again, I'm Cucker Tarlson, and I'll see you next time. Good night, America.